Yes.
Yes.
I just saw the stream is live. I didn't see anything about record. Usually I have to press a button, and I have to do that today.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm a little concerned.
I hope I did that right. Okay. Well, if not,
we'll
the end of the world.
We'll figure it out later, right? Hi, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning. I have very exciting news, personal news.
What's that?
Today, I will be meeting with a podiatrist.
So that is a foot doctor for those of you in the back. What's wrong with your feet?
Remember how I have a suspected bunion?
Oh, yeah. Is he gonna
This is the doctor about that.
Oh, okay. And you've been waiting like a million years to get into this person?
He's the best guy in town, apparently, and he does what's known as a lapiplasty, which is a much less invasive surgery.
Naughty.
It does kind of sound naughty, but it's a much less invasive surgery than a bunionectomy, which I do not want to get. I don't even know if I have a bunion, honestly. I think I do, but like I don't know for sure. So
are you in pain when you walk? Are you like in?
I mean, it's not constant pain. It's just I can tell there's something not right about my big toe, and like if I get into a push-up position, it hurts, and so I know that there's something going on. It's not bad. Like I can walk.
Just stop getting into a push-up position. That solves the problem, right?
Well, I mean, sort of. But like, what if I have to stand on my tippy toes? You know what I mean? That's where I feel some pain.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so I have to see a doctor.
You standing on your when are you standing on your tippy toes? Are you doing ballet?
I'm a short person. You don't understand.
Get on a stool. You should carry a stool everywhere you go because of your height. It's a great. I think it's solid advice. Don't you guys think? Just carry a stool everywhere.
I'm not going to carry a stool. That's crazy talk.
Always have one in your car. Always carry one with you, like to the mall and whatnot, just in case you need to get to something high.
I mean, maybe they'll just tell me you don't have a bunion. You have I don't even know what. I don't know foot problems. I've never had a foot problem. So this is all new to me.
Okay.
So we'll see. But I feel 1,000 years old because I'm going to a podiatrist.
It's okay. We'll all be like rooting for you. We'll be wondering what it is.
Well, I'll report back tomorrow.
You'll have to report back, you guys. In the meantime, you guys, you only get one retirement. So you need to schedule your free risk review now at Bulwark with our friend Zach at knowyourriskradio.com. Do it. He will manage your money.
And he'll manage your risk. And that's a big deal to me.
And listen, if you're short, get yourself a stool.
Just don't know. I don't know. Denise says if I had a bunion, I would know it. That's why I feel like I have one, you guys. Because when I look, you saw it when we were together. I showed you my feet, and you were like, "That one looks bigger."
I was like, "That looks a little funky. You may want to get that checked out."
Yeah, it's just a little bit bigger than the other foot. My husband swears he can't see it, but I'm like, "Are you blind?" It's clearly
can see it.
Yeah, it's clearly different than my left foot.
Yeah, husbands sometimes they can't see that stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he's just overwhelmed by your beauty every day. Ronus.
I can assure you.
He's like, that is not it. Just your shining beauty. I can't see the bunion on your foot.
Anyway, yeah, see, it could be a bone spur. I mean, I could have all kinds of unknown foot-related issues.
True. Oh my God, Donna had 2 bunionectomies. A lot of people have been through this. See, this is a thing. Get a support group here. This is great.
Yeah, this is really good. And people were super nice about it, sending me all kinds of tips and like contraptions to potentially use. So I appreciate all that. I just don't want to really do anything until I know what it is. Okay. So that's what I'm going to find out this afternoon. So very, very excited about that, as I'm sure all of you are.
We're all excited for you.
Thanks. Thank you very much. We have to spend just a few minutes, if we could, on some celebrity weirdness, because there was an article yesterday that came out, and a lot of people are making a big stink about the fact that Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner's daughter, Serafina Rose, has come out as a boy or a they, them, or whatever, and now calls herself Finn, which still, probably could have gone by Finn before. I mean, her name is Serafina, so it's not out of the realm of possibility to just shorten it, right? But people are making a big deal about the fact that she apparently came out in public as Finn and wearing a man's suit at her grandfather's funeral. Mm-hmm. And so people are like, this was so disrespectful, like for her to come out at a funeral seems really.
It's a little weird.
It's a little weird.
It's a little weird, don't you think?
Well, I can't decide if I do or not, only because, I mean, yes, if her goal was to be like, look, I'm coming out as a boy now, that's super weird to do it at a funeral. But she's 17, I think, or something like that. So maybe this is just the first public appearance she's had at all. And that's why people are making it sound like she's coming out at the funeral. But maybe she's been living like this in her personal life for a long time. And this is just the first public appearance as the way that she's living. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just kind of, I thought it was kind of weird to do that at your grandpa's funeral because weird. I mean, they're celebrities and she knew that eyes were going to be on her because I'm sorry, whatever it. And so, the attention would be on that individual. And so, it took away from her grandpa. It's just weird.
Well, and then apparently I wonder if Ben Affleck, if there's any part of him that blames J-Lo for this because J-Lo's daughter is a non-binary and they have become super tight ever since they've been a couple again. Those two kids have become super tight. And so now all of a sudden this non-binary chick, becomes really close to the daughter. Now the daughter is questioning her own sexuality. So if that, I would be annoyed. If I were Ben, I would be like, what? Can you just not?
Yeah, they're thick as thieves, those two. And I think the celebrities in general. I mean, if these LA celebrity kids, they're just like, well, this is like super trendy.
And that's the thing. It's social contagion.
It is social contagion for sure. It is.
Oh my God.
I mean, it totally is. This is what these kids do.
It is.
Yeah, this is what a lot of these kids, and then a lot of kids out there in the mainstream are watching it going, oh, well, maybe I can get attention if I do this. Maybe people will think that I'm brave and I'm cool if I do this. And therein lies the whole social contagion aspect of it. It's attention. I mean, you're a teenager, for crying out loud. What do teenagers want? Attention.
Yeah. And especially in the home of a highly famous attention-getting parent. So like Charlize Theron also has a son who's now trying to live as a girl. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis. There's so many. Gabrielle Carter, I think, is it not Carter?
Yeah.
Gabrielle
Union.
Yes. They also have a kid that is trans. I mean, that seems very sus that there are so many celebrities dealing with this issue.
It's a surefire way to get attention and like, I guess, applause for yourself and to feel special somehow when your parent is out there being applauded and feeling special every day for their talent, Yeah. And maybe you don't have a talent. So you're like, well, I'm going to be trans.
And maybe their parents aren't giving them enough attention. You know what I mean? So they're like screaming for it in other ways. Hollywood is still a pretty small group, all things considered, when you think about just the general population. So the fact that there's this preponderance of transness in celebrity kids.
Right. And that small sect of society, it is a little sus, as you would say.
I'll tell you what is not sus, and that is the amazing deliciousness that you get whenever you order literally anything from omahasteaks.com. Right now, they're having their 50% off site-wide semi-annual sale. When you use code CHICKS, you also get an additional $30 off your order. So saving 50% on all the things at omahasteaks.com is amazing. And I have a testimonial I would like to share with you, if I may. This comes from Kristen Gunn. And Kristen wrote in and said, I want to thank you both for encouraging me to try Omaha Steaks. What a great experience. Marc, when you mentioned that you had tried and liked the seafood options, I decided to give it a try. I opted for a package that includes a little bit of everything. Our favorites are the fillets and the individual au gratin potatoes. Oh my God, I know.
The au gratin potatoes are bomb.
So good. But the salmon was an unexpected surprise, she writes. I chose the marinated salmon fillets and they are amazing. I like salmon, mostly because I know it's good for me. My husband hates it. The marinated salmon from Omaha Steaks is honestly delicious. When I made it for myself, my husband tried it and actually liked it. At first, I was annoyed that he was eating my dinner, but then I checked myself and I realized he's eating healthy salmon. Yay. We loved everything we ordered, so I did the subscription box, which saves even more money. Thank you again for encouraging me to try Omaha Steaks, and thank you for what you two do. As an insider and loyal follower, I want you to know that you are appreciated. Isn't that the sweetest?
I love that. I love that.
I love that so much too. Take advantage, you guys. 50% off site wide, and then tack on an additional $30 of savings. That's really fantastic savings you're getting at omahasteaks.com.
Somebody mentioned that there is a celebrity that has 3 trans or bi whatever binary kids.
Who?
It's Marcia Gay Harden. I saw her in an interview.
Serious?
Yeah, all 3 of her kids are something. They're like non-binary, trans, and gay, I think is what they are.
Oh my God.
It's like they picked a flavor. It's like they went to the trans Baskin Robbins and the LGBT Baskin Robbins, and they're like, what are we going to be? And they are all something. So,
okay.
yeah.
I mean, at some point, is she not looking at herself and thinking maybe the problem is me?
No, she's like super excited about it, because it's like a prize when you're in Hollywood. You're like, look what I have. I have a trans kid. It makes me awesome.
God.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Alexandra, thank you. Alexandra says, shout out to my grandpa for adopting 2 cats he thought were female, but turned out to be male, and then naming them both they and them.
Oh my gosh. That is the greatest. I love him.
That is perfect. I love that so much. Oh my God. And then one more little tiny piece of celebrity news, because most people who have been around us a long, long time know that I loathe Ashley Judd with the fury of a billion suns. So when I see news about that family, it piques my interest. Wynonna Judd's daughter, who is a disaster. I mean, like, who's had a criminal record since she was itty bitty. She's a mess. And so she is back in jail for indecent exposure. She apparently showed some toppiness and some bottom
or bottom too. And then she wouldn't move.
I mean,
cops were like, we're going
to
go ahead and move you. And she's like, nah, I just want to be here, like showing you my junk.
And she's 27.
Yeah. She's not 17. Girl. Exactly. It's like you would know better a little bit after the age of 17 not to do that, but not if you're a Judd. No. No. Not so much.
So anyway, that family is a mess.
There's some bad crappiness going on there.
Unfortunately, we do need to talk about abortion again. Yep. We spent quite a bit of time on it yesterday because of Trump making a statement about it, saying that he believes his official position on abortion is that it needs to be a decision left to the states, which many, many people, including us, agree with. But what happens when a decision like that is left to the states is that sometimes states are crazy. And so Arizona yesterday decided to, the Supreme Court of Arizona ruled that a 160-year-old total ban on abortion that is still on the books in the state is actually enforceable. And they're giving the state 2 weeks essentially to get ready. And that means that, like, if nothing changes between now and 14 days from now, doctors who perform abortions could be criminally penalized if they give abortions in Arizona. Any abortion clinics obviously would need to shut down. And so it's kind of it's very strong, weird position that Arizona has taken. And so Caitlin Collins, and I know people are like, oh my God, she's awful. She is awful. She's totally awful.
Yeah.
But I thought in terms of summaries about what has happened, it's a pretty decent one. So we'll let her kind of give the overview about what this law entails and what it means.
And so much for the U.S. Supreme Court rolling abortion rights back 50 years. Arizona just punched the flux capacitor and time traveled back to 1864. Not 1964, 1864. Yes, during the Civil War, a year before slavery was even abolished with the 13th Amendment. It's also before the discovery of penicillin, x-rays, or antibiotics. But the Arizona Supreme Court ruled today that a 160-year-old law banning abortions at any point in a pregnancy can be enforced. That means that in 2 weeks from now, abortions in that state, in Arizona, will be illegal. There are no exceptions for rape or incest in this 1864 law. The only exception is if the mother's life is in danger. And even that is not a black or white decision, and it often comes with its own complications, as we know. Keep in mind that when this law was written, women could not vote. The idea of women even owning their own home was still a novel concept in some states. And speaking of states, Arizona wasn't one yet. Less than 10,000 people lived in what was then known as the Arizona Territory. Today, more than 7 million people do. That includes Republican Senate candidate and a contender to be Donald Trump's vice president, if he's the president and the Republican nominee, Kari Lake. She rushed out a statement, and it reads, in quote, in part, and I'm quoting her now, "I oppose today's ruling." But that statement requires a lot of context, given it wasn't that long ago that she said this about the very law that is set to go into effect.
We have a great law on the books right now. If that happens, we will be a state where we will not be taking the lives of our unborn anymore. I'm incredibly thrilled that we are going to have a great law that's already on the books. I believe it's ARS 133603. So it will prohibit abortion in Arizona except to save the life of a mother. And I think we're going to be paving the way and setting course for other states to follow.
And that did not go over well. So immediately, Kari Lake, as you heard from Caitlin, rushed to say, oh, no, I hate this law, when she's on record a couple of different times saying this is the greatest law ever, and I hope this is exactly what happens. So that's why when she released the statement, a lot of people were questioning, excuse me, but what do you mean by this? Because in it, she says, I oppose today's ruling, and I'm calling on Katie Hobbs and the state legislature to come up with an immediate common sense solution that Arizonans can support. So, I mean, obviously, Kari Lake is in super campaign mode, but this is an example of what's happening now when states make their own decisions. So people are like,
Yeah. But I mean, I still contend that it's better that the states do this rather than having one federal, you know what I mean? I still think this was overturning Roe v. Wade was the right thing to do, and putting it in state's hand was the right thing to do. And this is dirty and messy and disgusting. And I know people are up in arms about it, but I still think it was the right thing to do. I do.
I completely agree. And especially because there's no way that a federal ban is going to pass. Like, so anybody who's hoping, like a Lindsey Graham, for example, who's saying, oh, Trump should have said that we need a 15-week federal ban. That is never going to pass. You need 60 votes in the Senate for that to pass. It's never going to happen. So, I mean, I still think Trump took the right position on this.
Right. Because he took the constitutional, that was the opinion that he took. And I think that's the right thing to do. We have a constitution. We're a constitutional republic. Follow the freaking constitution. And that's precisely what he did. So I think it was the right thing to do.
But politically, it's a mess for Republicans, as this issue of abortion always is. And
it always will be.
Joe Biden pounced, and so his campaign immediately tweeted as soon as the Arizona law came out and basically said, Trump did this.
Crying out loud.
I mean, they're going to use it to their advantage, and it will work, unfortunately. I mean,
it will.
This issue sucks for the GOP.
It will work with stupid young women. And stupid older women, too. It's going to work. Yeah.
Yeah. David Axelrod talked about this from a political angle, and here is what he had to say about this whole scenario right here in a second. Right now.
But as a political matter, this could not be more of a disaster for the Republican Party. Yesterday, Donald Trump said, well, it's up to the people in the states to decide. Let the states decide. Well, here you find what happens when you let the states decide. In Florida, a 6-week ban is in place. I guarantee you in both those states, if you put that on the ballot, and they will be on the ballot in the form of initiatives, that a majority of voters in those states do not agree with those policies. So I think what this does is it puts a battleground state more in the leaning D column than the leaning R column, because I think there's going to be a massive turnout in November for a constitutional amendment in the state of Arizona, because the voters of Arizona now have a demonstration of the fragility of abortion rights in the post-Dobbs era. I think this is an earthquake. Those electoral votes in Arizona could be the ones that tip this election.
I mean,
I swear, if we lose because of this issue, my God.
Right.
Like what our country and you know what? If we lose because of this issue, our country we're just doomed culturally, because if people are so hell bent on killing their babies, that's the one issue that they are just they're so centered on, I weep for humanity, man. If they win on this and we are, listen, everything's burning around you. Everything is on fire.
Many other things that are critical that we need to fix. That could sink us. And that's really terrifying.
It is terrifying. It's terrifying for our country and because of so many reasons, but really the nucleus of that is that we just have lost all humanity if that's why they win on this. If they win on this, oh my God, I weep for my kids and my grandkids.
Well, if I understand it correctly, it sounds like this is going to be one of those actual questions on the ballot in November of the voters and in Arizona and possibly Florida as well, where you actually have to answer a question in addition to picking out all the people that you want to vote for. You also say, do you think that this law should stand on abortion or whatever? And then voters will actually be addressing that specific issue. And I actually think that would be so great to just do on a whole bunch of different issues. Why aren't voters asked directly more things that are this critical? Do you know what I mean? Like, why aren't those things more often seen on ballots in addition to the people you vote for? Why don't you get to say, I think it should be abortion, never, 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 or, I don't think this law should stand, or I do think this law should stand. And actually then it's states' rights really mean something. It's not just a couple legislators. It's the people who are weighing in saying, this is what we want. Now go put that legislation forward.
Yeah, I hear you. I saw a little bit of that kind of stuff when it comes to issues and policies on the ballot in Texas. And a lot when I voted, because there were actual questions. How do you feel about this? Do you feel this way about immigration? Do you feel this way about gun laws? Do you feel this way? And I love that. I was like, this is great. They're asking me my opinion, which they should be, because
they're representing you.
They work for me, and I need to be able to voice. The whole reason I'm here is to voice my opinion, and I'm supposed to have a say in how this shit works. And so I really appreciated that. You're right. So that we should see more and more of that, and it should matter.
Yeah. I feel like that's just the best way for people to actually make their voices heard on specific issues, not just a person that they're hiring for a job, but here's what I want you to do when you get in that job. This is an issue that matters to me. Now go. You know what I mean?
And that may change people's minds on people. I'm trying to phrase that correctly, because like we've seen in the past, like I remember man on the street interviews, when you actually ask people about issues,
right?
A Democrat may become a Republican just in a series of questions, because they're like, oh wait, I actually feel a different way about that particular issue. I'm actually conservative. Who knew? If you ask them about issues and not about people. It's interesting how that works.
Well, Marc Thiessen also talked about this and said, agreeing with us essentially that Trump, it doesn't matter all this noise about the political ramifications. It doesn't matter. Trump did the right thing. Here's Marc.
Look, Lindsey Graham has his heart in the right place, but he is wrong and Donald Trump is right. And here's why. Donald Trump is being honest with pro-life voters in saying there is no chance that a 15-week abortion ban is going to get passed by the United States Senate, because you need 60 votes to do that, to overcome a filibuster. And there's no way that the Republican Party is going to have a 60 votes filibuster-proof majority anytime soon. We don't even have the majority at all right now, and we're trying to get it back. So it would be an empty promise to say we're going to pass a 15-week abortion ban at the federal level. But that has not stopped Democrats from demagoguing the issue. Joe Biden has said that Donald Trump wants a federal ban on abortion nationwide. And Biden served in the Senate for decades. He knows that's not true. He knows how the filibuster works, but he's trying to do it anyway because that's the only issue he has. So what Donald Trump has done is he's being honest with the voters. He has defanged the issue from Democrats. They can no longer say that he wants a federal abortion ban because he's taken that off the table. And he's enabled Republicans to now go after Democrats and point out that they are the abortion extremists. The Democratic orthodoxy used to be abortion should be safe, legal, and rare, and there was a necessary evil. Now their policy is abortion, federal taxpayer-funded abortion on demand up until the moment of birth. That is way out of step with the American people. So Republicans can now say that focus on that rather than defending a ban at the federal level that is never going to happen, that most Americans don't want to happen at that time.
Yeah, I mean, he's right about that.
Yeah,
it used to be safe, legal, and now we're like North Korea or something. It's like, what the hell?
It's freaking bonkers.
It is.
I'm putting on my glasses again because of my age and because I can't see.
I wear mine every day. So what does that say about me?
Well, that just says you are a person that did not want to get LASIK.
I don't shove things in my eyes. I just put glasses on.
But the reason I'm putting my glasses on is because I have another testimonial to read. This one is about Genucel and Gen 90, which is the product that we've talked about a lot, this anti-wrinkle, this stuff right here. Wait, there we go. Gen 90, the anti-wrinkle stuff that's like light years ahead of the competitors, and the XV moisturizing cream. They're on sale now during the Genucel spring sale. They're included in the bestseller package, along with the under eye bag and puffiness serum. This is all at genucel.com/chicks. But we got an email from Brenda Enders, and Brenda writes, "Hey chicks, I want to tell you my Genucel story. I started using their products 1.5 years ago. I subscribed to the most popular package and the deep firming serum, and I use it daily. Fast forward to a month ago. I met a new person at a business lunch. As we chatted and got to know each other, she mentioned she had just turned 70 and hated the lines that were getting more pronounced on her face. I replied that I had turned 68 at the end of this past summer. And her response was, 'Your skin looks fantastic. What do you use?' I proceeded to tell her all about Genucel. She even gave me her phone number so I could text her the site link. Thank you for having great sponsors with such fantastic products," which is a fantastic testimonial. And by the way, packages in general right now are 50% off, plus an extra 10% off is automatically applied at checkout. Their results are guaranteed. So if you do not get compliments, if you do not start noticing a difference yourself, you can request your money back. You're going to end up subscribing because you're going to love the products.
You're going to love it.
And right now they're including a free limited edition spa box, which has bonus gifts in it and free shipping. So things are hopping right now at genucel.com/chicks. So check them out. All right. I feel like we've talked enough about abortion. Have we not?
I think so.
As much as we needed to do.
I think we covered that today. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we did all right.
Thank you to Catherine Lazzaretti, who says, "Too bad people don't have the same energy about the 100 other issues way more important than abortion. They act like this is the only thing that matters." Absolutely right.
Yeah, and that hurts my heart.
I know.
That they think this is the only thing that matters. Okay.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Karen Elliott, thank you. Karen says, "Since November is still a few months out, do you think we have time to move abortion off the front page before the election if we can spin this right?" That depends on what other states do, in response to or as a result of what Arizona has done. It just depends.
And it depends on what are the higher ups and the people in charge of the RNC do. Because you guys, a lot of this is PR. I mean, I hate to say it, but it is. And they are way better at PR than we are. They have been historically. So hopefully we have the right people in place to spin it for us, because there's so much crap, like you said, going on. We need to focus on that. We need to pummel them with the absolute disasters that are happening, the fires that are going on all around us, and not just this one issue, which is what they are going to focus on. And they are so good at it that they're going to put this at the forefront constantly. We need to make sure that doesn't happen.
I mean, Kamala's already on the way to Arizona to have her big freak out about it. So yeah, Democrats are going to use it because it's all they have. They have nothing else. They have no other successes to talk about. None. And if they are talking about successes, they're lying. Like when they talk about how crime's down, or when they talk about how inflation's down, or when they talk about how Bidenomics works, all of it is a lie. All of it. All of it is a lie. Speaking of big fat liars, guess who MSNBC decided to have on their program as if it's a person with any credibility.
Who's that?
Michael Avenatti, who is in prison. Okay, he had to call in from jail. So,
oh my God.
But this is MSNBC, right? This is the caliber of guests that they decide to give a voice and a platform to. Now, all that said, I will say that Avenatti sounds reasonable, right? So he was brought on MSNBC to talk about the Stormy Daniels case, which is going to see a courtroom like any second. And it's not looking particularly good for Trump, especially because it's in New York City. It's in an area of people that absolutely hate him. So he's going to appeal. He's likely going to be convicted. He's likely to appeal, and he might do pretty well on appeal, but he's absolutely going to get convicted in this court. And Michael Avenatti talks about that in a way that it will resonate, I think, with everybody here. He recognizes how unfair this whole thing is to Donald Trump. Check this out.
Well, have you been in touch with DA Bragg's office, and what specifically in evidence or logic do you think is wrong with this case?
Well, I'm going to decline to answer as to whether I've been in touch with, either the defense or the DA's office. But let me say this in response to the second part of your question. I think the case has a lot of problems. Now, that does not, I don't mean to suggest that means that Trump will not be convicted, because I think he will be convicted because number one, he's a criminal defendant, and in our society, I don't believe the criminal defendants generally get a fair shake. In fact, I think that the percentage of convictions demonstrates that the deck is stacked decidedly against all criminal defendants. Number one. Number two, I don't think that he can get a fair trial in New York. And to the people who claim that, in fact, he can get a fair trial in New York with a New York jury, I would ask them if they were to go to sleep tonight and wake up tomorrow and find out that the case had been moved to Mississippi or Alabama, would they still think that the trial was going to be fair? And I think if they were being honest, they would answer no. So,
look, what in the hell is going on? This is so crazy. Like, what's even happening? Our judicial system, man, it is nuts. Let's go ahead and get this guy in jail on the phone
and interview about this criminal trial that he was involved with.
That he screwed up. He's the one who screwed. Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe he did actually screw her, Stormy. I don't know. They probably did. I'm not going to rule it out.
Who hasn't? I asked
right?
you.
Exactly. It's like, exactly. I have so many things I want to say right now that I'm not going to say. But I mean, he screwed her over. So it's so absurd what we're watching happen in real time. And now he's like, well, he's not going to get a fair trial. Oh, you think? Oh my God. Like, what is even going on?
It is crazy. Some people in our comments were speculating that Michael Avenatti, because you know how he didn't answer the question on who he's been in touch with. Maybe he's working with the prosecution. Maybe he's working with the defense. Maybe he's trying to get a pardon from an eventual President Trump.
Gosh.
Like, I can't even begin to imagine the deals that are trying to be dealt right now.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's working it from prison.
Oh my God. He's working every angle.
The ladies of the view are like, he's still so hot.
He should run for president.
You should totally run for president in 2028, you guys. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, he's going to get his own reality show, this guy.
I don't even know when he gets out. Like, I think he's serving quite a bit of time because he's done quite a bit of bad things.
Doesn't mean he's going to serve a lot of time. This is our judicial system.
Well, that's
He'll probably get out in like 2 years.
That's true. I don't know when he gets out, but he's still making TV appearances. So
must be nice. 3 squares. Yeah.
And
Lord.
Megyn Kelly was on with Dan Abrams on News Nation to talk about this as well. And she also believes that a conviction is very, very likely, although Trump will probably do better on appeal. This was an interesting little back and forth.
The jury's going to believe that he paid off a porn star before the election to make her go away, and that he didn't write down in his books hush money to Stormy Daniels, because no one in the history of hush money payments has ever written that in any book anywhere. It defeats the whole purpose of a hush money payment. But the thing I can't get past now, so I grant you, yeah, they're probably going to convict him. They're going to convict him pretty easily, I think. But the thing I can't get past that everybody skips by in this whole thing is I had a former campaign election guy on my phone, on my show, who was really learned in all of this. And he said, the only way that you can prove it's an actual campaign donation, in order to help your campaign, which is what they're alleging in this, is if the money would never, under any circumstances, have ever been paid for anything other than to support one's campaign. So a hush money payment to a woman saying, I'm going to go public with our affair, would not qualify, because there have been lots of men, rich and powerful in particular, who have paid that money time and time again. So unless you could prove that the only reason he would have done it was to help his 2016 campaign, you fail that test, and that's what's going to happen here.
That's for the felony. Yes, that's for the felony. Yeah.
Okay.
There's no case here.
It's just, are there cases anywhere? I mean, seriously.
There's just, yes, he slept with Stormy Daniels and he paid her off. I think everybody with any sense knows that, but that is not a crime.
Right. And it's as kind of like what she said. How many times has this happened in history?
Exactly.
Good Lord. It's like not, and Bill Clinton. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many times did Hillary I'm sorry, Bill pay off like the women that he I just and I think of all the other men that have done it. Think of throughout history, presidents, senators, congressmen. I mean, throughout our history, they have done this, and then they're like, "Oh my God, Trump! I'm going to clutch my pearls because he did this." I cannot.
And he did. This had nothing to do with a campaign.
No,
and everything to do with him trying to save face with Melania, and that is the main thing that he was trying to protect. Is Melania?
It's just ridiculous.
It is. The whole thing is nonsense.
All of it's ridiculous.
She's right.
Yeah, she's right.
I think Megyn is completely right. Reminder to everybody that you should be visiting birchgold.com/chicks to get your grubby little paws on a free gold information kit. This kit, I know it sounds like, oh, what do I need a free information kit for? I promise you that once you get it, you'll be like, holy crap. I did not know all of these things about why it makes sense to invest in gold or other precious metals. And that's because the people at birchgold.com/chicks understand better than literally everybody how to explain this entire industry in terms that makes it really, really, really easy to understand. They do it so well. And now is as good a time as any to diversify. If you're not already investing at all in any kind of precious metals, now's a great time to have that sort of other egg in your financial basket, because your basket cannot all just be dependent on one kind of fund, right? You want to have it diversified. So get all the information you can for free. There's no obligation whatsoever when you visit birchgold.com/chicks, which is why you should do it. Maricha, am I saying that right? I hopefully am. Maricha Fry, thank you. Maricha says, thank you to the chicks for making me smile daily, and happy anniversary to my wonderful husband, 30 years today.
Oh my gosh. Happy anniversary.
That is a big one. I hope you're doing something amazing to celebrate. All right, let's move on to this ridiculous story, all the fake news that the mainstream media is trying to fill your head with when it comes to crime. Okay, so we talked a little bit about that yesterday, but we've got more to talk about today. And we're going to kick it off actually with the most ridiculous Salon headline of all time and space. This is real. Their headline, an Associated article said, the men punching random women in New York City. A desperate last gasp of the male rage fueling MAGA.
I cannot. Of course, it's Trump's fault. It's all Trump's fault, you guys. Oh my God. I'm surprised they didn't blame climate change. But
don't give him any ideas.
But Trump is the second, right? It's either climate change or Trump. And let's just go with Salon's like, let's just be really lazy and go with Trump. What a bunch of douche canoes.
I mean, this is just madness.
Who believes this garbage?
What
Seriously.
A ridiculous headline. I mean, it's just, it's beyond absurd. It's beyond parody. And Jesse Waters actually did a nice segment about the lie that is all of these crime stats that are coming out of the FBI and the government. I mean, it's all a bunch of nonsense. And
so if crime's everywhere, why do they say crime's down?
A new report from the FBI shows that there was a 13% decline in murder.
Despite what the data shows, which we've been talking about, the fact that crime is going down in most places is not registering with the public.
I can safely walk my dog to the Capitol today in a way that you couldn't do when we all got here.
I'm glad Pete can walk his dog, but why should we believe the FBI? Well, turns out we shouldn't. The Washington Examiner did some digging and discovered the FBI's been cooking the books.
Oh, shocker.
Did you know about half the country doesn't send their crime statistics to the FBI?
Oh my God.
So the FBI just estimates the number of crimes, and then they estimate in the wrong direction. Murders are actually up 23% across 70 cities since 2019. In Milwaukee, the FBI reported a 13% drop in robberies, but Milwaukee police reported a 7% increase. The Biden administration's using Enron-style accounting to cook the books on everything from crime to the border to the economy. And then the media reporters, they just regurgitate the propaganda and they wonder why the country's soured. We don't trust them and Trump's winning.
Because they lie. They all lie. What do you want to bet that Pete Buttigieg has a purse dog? What do you want to bet?
Well, and how ridiculous for him to say, "Oh, I can totally walk my dog safely now." You have a security team, you moron. Of course you can.
He probably gets
he
gets in the Suburban with his dog, and then like they drive him to the place he needs to be, and then he gets out and pretends that he walked there. Remember?
Right.
Yeah. What a jerk.
Oh my God. The fact that he said that out loud and doesn't see, I mean, it has no self-awareness. Oh my God. Yeah. Ridiculous. But because I think it was a couple days ago, maybe when we showed that video of the CVS in Vegas where everything is locked up, literally everything is locked up. And so retail theft has been a huge, huge problem all over the country, shutting down all kinds of Walgreens, CVS's everywhere because they just cannot withstand the amount of theft that they're dealing with. And then there's also this phenomenon too of people ripping off packages off of your front porch, right? The porch pirates.
Yep.
Well, leave it to Governor DeSantis.
He still loves him, you guys.
To once again be out in front and leading on this issue. Here he is talking about new legislation in Florida yesterday.
Theft is not limited, though, to just retail outlets. You also have in an era where people are clicking and ordering online and having packages delivered to their front door, you have a cottage industry of porch piracy, where people will go and steal packages from somebody's front door. And different citizens have responded in different ways. You have cameras, the doorbell cameras, you have all this other stuff, but it's not certainly effective in soft on crime jurisdictions, and it's not something you should have to do in the state of Florida, and so we're not going to put up that either. So today's bills, the bill I'm going to sign, not only cracks down on retail theft, it also cracks down on porch piracy, so that if you order something and they leave it at your front door, you come home from work or you bring your kids home from school, package is going to be there. And if it's not, someone's going to have hell to pay for stealing it. So HB 549 is a great piece of legislation. It is pretty much doing the opposite of what a lot of states like California and New York have done. It believes that we need to increase penalties on those who are committing these acts. So we will raise penalties on people that steal packages from your front porch. They are going to be deterred from doing that with adequate penalties.
I love it. See a problem, solve a problem. That's what he does. That's what he does. It's what he does best. He's really, really good at that. I love the guy in the background that's like, I'm just here to buy some condoms. And, oh God, there's Governor Ron DeSantis. Oh, hey, shit. And then he like, you see that guy?
I just like that was security. I like that was some
like
security
in the bag.
dude.
It's like, and then there's some old lady going. She's like, I need some.
I'm here for my Metamucil.
I'm constipated. Yeah, I just. It's just, oh God, there's a governor. So
anyway,
funny.
I mean, do you see?
I know.
I just love him
really,
so much.
Very, very good at that.
Love him so much. Speaking of lying and this administration, because this is, of course, what they do best. Somebody fantastic put together the most glorious montage of Biden pandering, and pretending to be from every single culture that there is. And it's so amazing to see it all pushed together like this, because we've seen clips here and there and we've highlighted them, but to see them all together, wow, it is Captain Panda Pants, you guys. Look at this.
Was sort of raised in the Puerto Rican community. I had a very close relationship with the Greek American community, for real. I am Joe Bidenopoulos. I grew up in a heavily Irish Catholic community in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and a heavily Italian Polish community. When I say I got raised in the black church, he knows I'm not kidding. The Persian culture is amazing. As a student of the Persian culture, I probably went to shul more than many of you. I come out of the black community. The background of my family is Irish American, not fundamentally unlike the Palestinian people. I, you might say, raised in the synagogues in my state. Everyone in town was either Polish or Italian. I grew up feeling self-conscious. My name didn't end in an SKI. I was raised in a neighborhood
Oh my God.
where I felt self-conscious. My name didn't end in O. That's kind of how I was raised, like so many Americans of Irish heritage.
In HBCU in your home state, Mr. President.
Let me tell you, forget about it. That's right. That's where I got raised, man. Just like rabbis, synagogues, and Jewish community centers.
Look at his
in
chin
your
balls.
hometowns, and that's the tradition I got raised. Hard-working people, the middle class, the neighborhoods I got raised in. I was raised on GM. I was raised by Danny Inouye. I was raised by a righteous Christian. I got raised on automobiles.
He was raised by all the things. He was everybody and everywhere. He was raised all everybody. Like they just passed him around when he was a kid. Poor kid. Yeah, God, those chin balls.
He was raised in literally every culture.
Every single one. All of them. All the cultures. God.
That just cracked me up.
I mean, yeah, I was raised a poor black kid. Totally. That guy. And then they will call Trump a racist.
I mean,
it's mind-boggling. The Democrats are so dumb. They think this guy is great, and they're like, "No, it's fine. I mean, the pandering is great. We love it. We love it. He's such a good
seems
guy."
Totally legit. I totally believe all of that.
He was raised in all of those
cultures,
every single place. My God,
he's known for his diversity. That Joe Biden,
that and the chin balls,
the chin balls,
totally.
Also, there was some news yesterday that the woman who found Ashley Biden's diary in that rental house, whenever that was, back in 2022.
She's still alive?
She's alive, but she has just pled guilty to a conspiracy charge. She's going to serve like a month of jail time and then like some years of home confinement or whatever.
Why?
Because she sold it. Like she sold it to benefit herself, and she made $20,000, I guess, from Project Veritas, to whom she tried to sell it, but then they never ended up using it. But what's interesting about this whole story is that all kinds of liberals are like, that's not even real. You know what I mean? It's like the Hunter Biden laptop all over again.
Then why'd she go to jail if it's not real?
Exactly. So when the Florida woman is sentenced to a month in jail for selling the diary, maybe the headline should actually read, Ashley Biden's diary is proven real.
Exactly. If it's not real, then she wouldn't be in jail.
Right.
It's okay.
Right.
So then
there'd be no victim.
Right. There. Exactly. So let's see all the stuff in it. And like they need to put that thing out there because there's some shady crap in there.
Yeah, well, it's back in Ashley's hands, and I'm sure she doesn't want to have anything to do with putting it out there because we all know what's in it.
Yeah, exactly. And her gravy train will get cut off.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I just thought that was a very interesting little headline from yesterday.
What a horrible way to live, by the way. What an awful way to live. If you wrote all that stuff and it actually is true and you were treated like that, and then you were basically in a self-inflicted prison for the rest of your life. What a horrible, awful way to live. I mean, bless her heart.
I guess bless it.
Money. Gross. Yeah.
Sherry Fox, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Yesterday, we mentioned the student loan hullabaloo. Joe Biden, of course, promising new illegal ways of making sure that we taxpayers who have already funded our own educations now have to foot the bill for all these people who signed loan papers that they just don't want to honor. And it's even worse than we thought, because the Democrats will try to spin this as, oh, we're trying to help these poor, like marginalized people who just, they can't live, they can't afford the student loans that they took out. It's just horrible. We want to help the poor people. It's not about poor people. It's about super rich doctors, for example, who have thousands of loans to repay. There is now, as we learned from Kamala yesterday, there's no income requirement. And there's not even a graduation requirement. This is unbelievable. Listen.
So today, then, building on the work that we've done thus far, I'm announcing a new plan to forgive more loans for 25 million more Americans, including millions of our public servants.
My God.
And that means, for example, if you've paid undergrad loans for 20 plus years or graduate loans for 25 or more years, your loans will be completely forgiven, regardless of your income and even if you did not graduate.
Oh my God.
So I'm going to repeat that. If you've paid undergraduate loans for more than 20 years or graduate loans for more than 25 years, those loans will be completely forgiven regardless of your income and even if you did not graduate. And forgiveness will be automatic for the vast majority of the 25 million people that we believe will benefit from this approach.
29 million.
And to see if you could be eligible, I would urge everyone to go to studentaid.gov. That's studentaid.gov.
It's unbelievable.
It's just the grossest thing. There is no such thing as debt forgiveness.
Right.
The only thing there is when you take that debt and you pass it off to somebody else who didn't take on the debt.
Exactly. It's debt redistribution.
Right. And this is why trade school enrollment is skyrocketing right now. It's because a lot of these people are like, screw this, screw the whole system, screw screw all of it. Screw y'all. I mean, that's going up. People are so disillusioned by this. And I hope this is the kind of issue that needs to overshadow abortion. This type of issue, because they are turning us into we're already like careening off the communist cliff. That's what this is. There is no such thing as debt forgiveness. There are guys in the trades, women in the trades. There are people who drive trucks who are taking on the debt of doctors. It's gross.
It's vile. And it doesn't make any sense. Their approach, it's obviously just more pandering. They're buying votes with our money. They're using our money to buy the votes of young people or people who
are irresponsible.
Who are irresponsible, who just think that they shouldn't have to pay off the debts that they signed on. And how does this not apply to car loans or mortgages? Like, when will it end?
Well, it won't.
You know what I mean?
It won't. And that's the thing. It's a slippery slope. I feel like they're going to start. Once they do this, it opens the Pandora's box for them to say, oh, you can't afford your car? Okay, well, we'll help you pay your car. We will do that. We're already doing it with the illegals. You don't think they're going to do it with the citizens? I mean, they're doing it. They're doing it with everybody. We are paying for everybody. I mean, people, like, I know y'all feel it too. There are days where I look around, like, listen, like I won't get into personal stuff, but like, I know there are days where I like pay for stuff, or we do help. We do all the right things. We check all the boxes. My husband and I follow the rules. And I'm like, when do I get a break? You know what I mean? When do we get our free handout? Because I know I'm not going to get my Social Security, and I've been paying into it since I was 13 years old. I know you guys feel the same way. I know there are a lot of people out there that feel. So I know that this generation, like the millennials coming up and people like that, they've got to be feeling some of this angst because they're taking that. They can't afford homes. So surely that sort of thing will at least come into play when they go to the ballot box. I hope to God that is the
I just
case.
don't know if they're getting from point A to point B on this. You know what I mean? I think they're thinking, oh, yay, free handout. I don't have to pay this loan anymore. So maybe I'll be able to afford XYZ. Not realizing that this forgiveness just makes the prices skyrocket even harder. And inflation get worse. And so ultimately they're going to be priced out of all the things that they think that now they can pay for. It's just so infuriating that people don't see the logic
And they
only
don't
see, oh yeah, I don't have to pay this bill
right.
anymore.
They don't see the long game. They don't see how they will end up suffering in so many other ways. And then their kids suffer, their grandkids suffer, our country suffers. We all suffer because of this.
Here is Senator Ron Johnson to tell the truth about this.
Particular batch of student loan debt relief is going to cost tens of billions of dollars. She said the president already has spent more than $600 billion on debt cancellation. Isn't he violating a Supreme Court decision by this?
Yeah, this is a completely lawless administration, and it's not only just the Supreme Court that said President Biden didn't have the authority. Nancy Pelosi, when she was Speaker, said he didn't have the authority until he started doing it. This does cost the American taxpayer hundreds of billions of dollars. It's money we don't have. It's a very simple and grotesque example of just trying to buy votes with money we don't have, plundering and mortgaging our children's future. And one thing I would point out to those college kids that I guess the ones that get their student loans forgiven are happy about it, but they need to understand the consequence. I mean, this massive deficit spending, driving up inflation. A dollar you held at the start of the Biden administration is only worth 84 cents. That's why young people can't afford a home, because housing prices have doubled. Housing payments have doubled. Mortgage rates have almost doubled, and they're back down a little bit. Again, this damage has been done, but it's not quite as direct as getting the free money for a fraction, a sliver of the American population. What about all the people that didn't go to college? What about the people that paid off their college loans? It's grotesquely unfair to them to make them shoulder this burden.
It's unreal. It's just unreal to me. I can't believe that people think that this is an okay thing to do. Like, what are they thinking? And I've fought with people about this personally, like people that I know that are just like, that got theirs forgiven, that want to get theirs forgiven, and they think it's fine. And I'm like, you're a freaking commie.
God,
I
how do they not see the problem with this?
No time for you. Like, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, there's nothing good about this. And this is so completely and totally un-American in every way.
Yeah. And illegal. I mean, the fact that he continues to defy what the Supreme Court said, I don't even know how he gets away with this.
Yeah,
I would hope that there would be more lawsuits.
Right. Isn't that impeachable? Is it impeachable? I don't know. It could be. I mean, my God, Trump was impeached for less. I feel like this guy's defying the Supreme Court.
Yeah. And I don't know how. It's like Ron Johnson said, it's a lawless administration.
Yeah, and then he has
lawless.
And then he has the audacity to get on interviews and say that Trump's going to be a dictator. Dude.
Right, exactly. And then, just in keeping with the whole theme of this administration lying about absolutely everything, that Lael Brainard, I don't even know what her official job title is. Lael wants you to believe that inflation is going to be just fine. It's gonna go away. You guys just listen.
This burden.
From her.
I anticipate that we'll continue to see steady progress on inflation over coming months. But of course, that's really important for American consumers. So we're going to keep our eye on that. But I anticipate inflation will continue the remarkable progress that it's
remarkable.
made.
Yeah,
remarkable progress?
What is more than gaslighting? Because at this point, they're not gaslighting us. It's like they're flame throwing us. Is that what it is? It's not. That's honestly, I'm being serious. We have to name it something different, because it's at this point, it's just so obvious what they're doing.
Yeah, it's nuclear bombing us.
It is. That's what they're doing. I can't. Just stop it. Stop with the flame nuclear throwing that you're doing at us, because we know what you're doing.
I just had to throw in this last clip of Captain Chinballs, because he did one of those put him up deals yesterday with a heckler, and I don't know why, it made me laugh, and I thought, this is probably shareable. Check this out.
It kept 225,000 child care working centers open, giving parents an opportunity to get back to work. Well, I tell you what, you want to come make a speech or shush up, okay? I'm not messing around with him. He looks like he could take me.
Yeah, he probably could.
I think anybody could.
Yeah. I feel like even a toddler could probably take you at this point.
God.
Yeah.
It's so embarrassing. I mean,
So funny.
that's our president, you guys.
I know. It's so funny. People are calling him President Balchinian. You guys, I cannot stop laughing at that.
Oh my gosh. On YouTube, our digital team pulled out you talking about chin balls yesterday as its own separate clip. So now it's like a YouTube short.
Yeah.
People in the comments are so mad. They're like, you should show respect to the president. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Let me show
that's
respect.
standard.
Let me show respect to him and his wife. Let me do that. Yeah. She calls Hispanic people tacos, and then he gets on a stage with red behind him and demonizes all of us. Let me go ahead and show respect to him.
Right?
Okay.
You guys, if you get a spare moment today, go and find that YouTube short on our channel, Chicks on the Right. Find that YouTube short and just look at the comments, because it is hilarious how mad people are about chin balls. They're so mad.
Bless their hearts.
Kat Stotler, thank you so much. Kat says, not even God has debt forgiveness. Jesus paid it.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got to get to Sheila Jackson Lee, because God, you guys, let me just remind everybody, Sheila Jackson Lee graduated from Yale. Okay. Like, she is a graduate of Yale. And this woman on Eclipse Day, there's so many angles to cover here. On Eclipse Day, she decided to take credit for basically the eclipse. Let me show you what I mean. This is what she tweeted. Today,
oh my God,
I created the opportunity to see a unique science and solar experience for the students at Booker T. Washington High School. I created.
She did that. Yeah.
The opportunity.
God bless her. I mean, because they couldn't just look up at the sky by themselves. It was her. She's the one who allowed them to do that. Thank God for Sheila Jackson Lee, right? I mean,
because there would be no eclipse without her.
No. She
No.
facilitated that, you guys.
She created that opportunity. And she wanted to point out, by the way, that she is a former member of the Science Committee. And former ranking member of the Space and Aeronautics Committee. So she's saying she created this irreplaceable moment.
Super smart.
But then she made the mistake of making a speech about it.
She talked.
And you guys, I don't know how to prepare you for what you are about to hear. The stupidity.
Provide unique light and energy so that you have the energy of the moon at night. And sometimes you've heard the word full moon. And sometimes you need to take the opportunity just to come out and see a full moon is that complete rounded circle, which is made up mostly of gases. And that's why the question is why or how could we as humans live on the moon? Are the gases such that we could do that? The sun is a mighty powerful heat.
It's so
hot. It's almost impossible to go
Almost.
near the sun.
Almost.
The moon is more manageable. And you will see in a moment, or not a moment, you'll see in a couple of years that NASA is going back to the moon.
Okay.
I mean, it's almost impossible to go near the sun.
It's almost, but it's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible because you could touch it. You may be able to touch it. If
you guys, the moon is not made of mostly gas.
Really? What?
I don't know how to break this to her. So that was the first thing, right? So she says that. That's already bad enough. As a former ranking member of the Space and Aeronautics Committee, she said
smart.
That. As a graduate from Yale, that's what she said. Then it was such a treat to watch her struggle with how to actually put on eclipse glasses.
No,
you guys,
stop it.
I'm talking at least a full minute. She cannot figure out
I didn't
how
see
to
this part.
don glasses.
I didn't see the glasses part. Oh my God, she did not struggle with this. She did not.
So much fun to watch.
Oh my God.
I love this. She's like, how do I get these on my head? How do these go on? Oh wait.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna keep working it.
No.
I can do this.
Maybe my no. Wait, I can't. How? Let me help you with that.
Let me just look at the sun with them down on my face. She can't do it, you guys.
Oh my God.
Still,
the greatest thing ever. You guys, these are our elected representatives. You wonder why our country's in this shitter. This is why. This is why.
She still doesn't have it.
Yep.
I'm just going to walk over here. And I'm going to...
Just act like you can see.
Oh my God. It's like the man on the street interviews that they have on college campuses where they're like, can you name all the continents? And the kids are like, what's a continent? She's one of those students. She is. And now she represents people. And this is why we're screwed. Yeah.
You remember what she said about the moon being made of gas, right? And it was very specific. She was comparing the moon's made up of gasness to the sun, and there was no, I'm getting this mixed up.
The sun's almost too hot to touch, you guys, almost.
But there was no mistaking the moon for the sun. You could very clearly hear her say, because the moon is made of gases, there's questions about whether we could live there, right?
Totally.
Here is what she is trying to say after all the backlash. It is bullshit. She's saying, obviously, I misspoke and meant to say the sun. But as usual, Republicans are focused on stupid things instead of stuff that really matters.
Right.
What can I say, though? Foolish thinkers lust for stupidity.
Yeah, okay.
She didn't mean to say the sun.
No.
She talked about the sun in the next sentence.
Sheila.
She is lying.
Sheila,
She's an idiot.
Go put some glasses on. Go
oh my God.
Put some glasses on. God bless her.
God. And this is a woman who has represented a large area of Texas for years. These people keep reelecting her. I will never understand it.
Why Texas?
My God. What is going on in the Houston area?
I know, right? Stop it, Houston.
You are drunk, Houston.
Go home.
Go home.
Yeah.
And somebody show her how to put glasses on because she can't.
Because she in danger.
She can't do it.
She is in a lot of danger.
Oh my God. All right. We now need to talk about reparations because reparations is still, there's all kinds of big cities. We saw it happening in California, and then Gavin Newsom is like doing the Homer Simpson back into the bushes thing where he doesn't want to recognize the fact that the very commission that he said, yeah, you task forcers, you task force yourself into a task force about reparations and report back. And they were like, okay, we did the task forcing. We really want reparations. We want like 20 billion gajillion dollars.
We want 14 gajillion dollars.
And Gavin's like,
oh crap. Even I know I can't afford that. Yeah.
We can't do that. So now it's just sort of fizzled, but it is still an active conversation in many, many Democrat-run cities. One of those being Boston. And so there's a news report. This is a few months old now, but I want it because we've got some reparations-y stuff to talk about. It's timely to show this now because this is a thing that's happening all over the country in various cities.
Call on the white church in Boston to join us in supporting a black reparations movement.
Standing in solidarity, clergy leaders from across the city of Boston gathered for an interfaith, multiracial meeting at the Resurrection Lutheran Church in Roxbury, Nubian Square. They're here to ask the religious community to atone for Black Boston suffering and support Black reparations.
And we are coming, as Dr. King said, to get our check.
Organizers from the Boston People's Reparation Commission say they're also following up on their demand on the city of Boston for a $15 billion initial payout to begin the process towards repair and reconciliation to the city's black community.
$5 billion as initial payment around cash payouts, $5 billion around strengthening our financial institutions, creating a new black bank, $5 billion in terms of addressing issues of the education achievement gap between blacks and whites.
In 2022, the Boston City Council and Mayor Michelle Wu offered an official apology for the city's involvement in the transatlantic slave trade. She also launched 2 task force research teams to study Boston's role in slavery and its long impact on descendants.
So we still suffer
from the trauma of
don't.
those instances,
Really?
and even today, dealing with racism.
On Saturday, this group called on the white church in Boston to support the black community for its association in slavery.
Today we call upon this city, its financiers, and its white churches to stop the shirking, stop the lying, tell the truth, and pay what is owed.
Okay, first
nonsense.
First of all, why is there a white church in Boston? Why is there a white church and a black church? There should just be a church. Because Jesus is like, what? I mean, God is looking down going, what? Y'all got it wrong, because that's not how it's supposed to be. We don't have churches according to how much melanin you have in your skin. That's stupid. Stop it. Seriously. I just don't understand that. I don't understand. I saw that and I was like, that's whack. And then second of all, are you really suffering trauma still? Because
No, this is such bullshit.
Yeah, it's like it's a money grab and it's stupid and it's gonna tear everybody apart and cause resentment. And black people had slaves, so I don't understand.
Yeah, ask Sunny Hostin about her family.
How are we gonna work that out? And then also on top of that, so since we're all identifying as all sorts of things, if they're gonna get reparations, can I identify as a black person? Because you can identify. You can identify, I could identify as a man. Why can't I identify as a black man? Because I could use the cash. I'm just saying.
It's also dumb. I know we've played this clip before. This is a clip of Yaba Blay. She is this producer, author, psychopath person who was on a podcast with some white woman who's obviously consumed with guilt for having less melanin than Yaba. And they're talking about reparations. And the reason that I sort of resurrected this clip is because it won't matter, even if, and God forbid this happens, but even if some of these ridiculous Democrat cities decide to use taxpayer money to pay reparations, it will never be enough. It will never, ever be enough. And this woman demonstrates that very clearly.
It's again displaying our own white supremacy, especially trying to slide into your DMs. Help me, fix me.
Or let me say something else.
Right?
Let me say something else. Because again, I told you I'm an independent people's worker. I'm happy that your people want to give me their money and they want to support me. I'll take it. Thank you. Thank you. Trust me. Thank you. But at the same time, when we start talking about intersectionality, which is white supremacy, which is gender, which is capitalism, Americans,
oh my God.
White people, I need you to know that your money will not assuage you from your guilt. You cannot pay your way out of this. There aren't enough reparations in the world that you can pay us. And so you think because you write a check or you slide me something in Venmo that you're absolved and you can tell somebody, well, I gave Dr. Blay $100. I'm not racist. Dr. Blay is going to spend your $100 and still tell you that you're racist. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Is it?
That's awesome.
Is it awesome?
That's awesome. I mean, so what's it going to take? What will it take?
Well, exactly. Which is why I have 0% guilt. I don't. No guilt.
I have no guilt for the color of my skin. This is how God
I didn't do
made
anything.
me.
I've never enslaved anybody.
I've never enslaved a person either. I've never enslaved a person, nor will I ever enslave a person. God made me the way he made me, and he made me in his image, and he made you in his image, and that is how we're all. And I don't understand any of this. I don't understand why right now we're doing this. Why can't we just come together I think MLK, he wanted all of us to be equal and not pay attention to the melanin content in our skin. And I feel like over the past 20, 30 years, it's become, maybe not 30, but 20 years, it's become so much more of an issue. Why is that? Why is it become...
I blame Obama.
I think Obama was part of it. I think, I don't know, social media probably stoked it. I just think, I don't know why. It's because when I grew up in the 80s, I feel like race relations were better.
It was on a very continuous uphill. It was going up and up and up and getting more. People were responding in polls saying racial relations are getting better.
Absolutely.
Didn't matter what color they were. The trend was going up until Obama and until the police acted stupidly thing, until the whole beer summit thing happened. And then it just went crazy the other direction.
It
and
really
DEI,
did.
this constant talking about critical race theory, DEI, all of these initiatives that are supposed to make it better have made it a billion times worse.
And the media, the media spins everything. Like they're the ones who kind of tee up all these issues in our country. And they've, over the past, 20 years, they've been doing that. They've been pushing this narrative that race relations suck in this country.
Yeah.
So there are going to be grifters who are going to feed off of that, and they're going to try to make money off of it and make it even worse. And then there are young people who listen to that and they think, oh my God, race relations are terrible. Of course they've always been terrible. We need to get paid. We need this. We need that. I mean, this is what happens when a media like feeds into it and makes it 1,000 times worse. And that's exactly what's happened, because it just was not this bad when we were growing up. It wasn't. We all coexisted and everything was great. And like, I just was not raised to look at somebody's skin color. I wasn't. And I don't raise my children like that. And so I don't understand why there's such an emphasis on it now. I hate it.
It's made everything worse. It's made everything worse. And now they're not just talking about reparations in the form of payments, but Jasmine Crockett, who is like one of the dumbest people ever, she's now talking because she heard it from a celebrity. And so now she's like, oh my God, a celebrity said this. It's such a great idea. She's now talking about, hey, why don't, instead of just making payments, maybe we just have Black people not pay taxes. She's actually saying it. Here she is.
This past week, I saw, I don't remember which celebrity, but it was actually a celebrity. And I was like, I don't know that that's not necessarily a bad idea, but I'd have to think through it a lot. One of the things that they propose is Black folk not have to pay taxes for a certain amount of time, because then again, that puts money back in your pocket. But at the same time, it may not be as objectionable to some people about actually giving out dollars. But obviously then you start dealing with the different tax brackets and things like that. And that's one of the reasons that, we argue the reparations make sense, because so many Black folk, not only do you owe for the labor that was stolen and killed and all the other things, right? But the fact is, like, we end up being so far behind.
What an absolute moron that woman is.
Yeah. I mean, so she basically says that they shouldn't have to pay taxes, but then a lot of Black people don't pay taxes. So okay.
How's that going to work?
I don't understand. I don't. Yeah. So
maybe she means like sales taxes. Maybe like depending on the melanin, like there'll be a chart. If you're this shade, you don't have to pay sales tax.
Right. Like, look at the shade chart.
Right.
And see, it's like
stand next to this.
It's like a roller coaster ride. You must be this dark to pay these many taxes. It's so stupid.
Yes,
it's just the
that's
dumbest,
exactly right.
dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's just so stupid. I don't know why we're doing this. Yeah, I don't. It's so antithetical to where we should be as a country. And it's so, and everybody wants to be so segregated. And this is the side of the aisle that they buy into all this garbage. And yet if you just were like, I don't know, if you just thought along the lines of limited government, and you would have more money in your pocket, Jasmine. You'd have more money in your pocket if you didn't vote Democrat, if you weren't a Democrat, if you were for limited government, if you were for all the policies that a lot of conservatives are. And I just, it's not your sugar daddy, not everybody is going to be your sugar daddy. Like, personal responsibility is a huge thing for at least people on the right. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous how it's not everybody. There's such a sense of entitlement that it makes me crazy when I see all this stuff. It's so anti-American, all of this.
Well, and so far, thankfully, I mean, knock all the wood, none of these reparation task forces have amounted to anything other than just more bitching and crying that they need reparations. Yet, exactly. And so all it's going to take is some crazy lunatic, like, who's that chicken? Is it Illinois, the one that now Lori Lightfoot is investigating? That one mayor,
and she's making $400 an hour to investigate. Can you believe that? $400 an hour she's getting to investigate.
But that mayor, like, she's essentially stealing money from the city, and she would be exactly the kind of person who would be like, reparations for everybody. And then where would that money would come from? I have no idea.
Yeah. So I don't put it past some of these people to actually get, I mean, I know people are like, this is ridiculous. It's never going to happen. Listen, weirder things have happened in this country.
Things have definitely happened. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to share some good stuff now, because a couple of clips ahead of DD's, and the first one, I just loved where this clip ended, because I know KJP did not mean to say what she said, but she said it. and it just sounded so perfect. I just knew you guys would enjoy this.
Is the president at all concerned that Dearborn is facing a risk of becoming a hotbed of any sort of homegrown threats?
I don't have any intelligence to share with you on.
She doesn't. She has no intelligence to share with us, you guys. That's like that. That should be
save that forever.
That should be her tagline. That is her personal branding tagline. She has no intelligence to share with us ever.
I just have no intelligence to share. Love the way she said that. I love it. It's so fitting for her. So
Perfect.
fitting.
It's like she like a business card should just say that. She should just have a business card and just pass it out. I have no intelligence to share with anybody.
That's my favorite thing she's ever said ever. All right. And then before DD's, I did find this one clip that was so cute of a dog. Like it's actually somebody's trying to videotape their kids, right? Like the kids are playing, they're trying to get a video, and their dog is so camera hoary.
Oh my God, I love this. I know what you're talking about. I love this.
I don't know why this made me laugh so much, but this dog
so great.
wanting all the attention is my favorite thing.
The ball is wet.
Look at that baby.
He probably drooled on it.
This is so great. Hello. 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 Hello, Mom. Hello.
Lucy. Are you vlogging? Is Lucy vlogging?
Why aren't you paying attention to me? Hello. I love him. It's so great. He's like, why'd you have to have these kids? I was getting all the attention until you had these stupid kids. Hello.
He was just like,
excuse me.
That was the greatest. The greatest.
Toxins are awesome. They're so awesome.
And more greatness coming because there are also DDs.
Okay. There's two. The first one is okay. I just love that. Like, I think it's Gen Alpha. Is my kid Gen Alpha? What is it? Who are the?
I thought yours was still a Z.
Is it Z? I don't know. The youngest generation. Okay,
that's Alpha, but I don't think Gwen counts as that.
Okay, the youngest generation is now trolling the generation before it. And I'm here for it. Like the amount of the trolling skills that these itty bitty kids have is off the charts, and I love them. And I actually sent this to my daughter-in-law, and I'm like, if and when you have children, I want them to have this trolling capability. I'm here for it.
Oh my God. No, they're still playing.
I love these boys. They're like, you look stupid. All right. You look
Why are you
stupid.
sticking your tongue out like that?
There's hope. There's hope for tomorrow, you guys.
Oh my God.
For being an idiot. Yeah. Okay. So that was the first. That was the first one, and then the second one is just this sweet, sweet boy that's getting a haircut. I don't know if it's his first haircut, but you know how haircuts for little kids can be traumatic. This kid is obviously not traumatized at all. Just love him. I love the guy cutting his hair too. He's so delighted. Can you see that? I love it. Is that not the cutest thing? I just love him.
Oh my God. That is the greatest.
Just precious beyond precious.
So completely precious.
So cute.
You guys, after we have My Pillow Toks, because of course Pillow Toks are sponsored, or Toks are sponsored by My Pillow. Which you should always visit at mypillow.com/chicks and use code chicks. Get yourself some $9.50 white slides. The white slides for women right now, $9.50. $9.50. mypillow.com.
They're so pillowy. You guys, I'm not even kidding when I say they're so squishy and pillowy. Like you will wear them all summer. They're fantastic.
Yeah, they are awesome. So after we do some My Pillow Toks, and I have really good ones for you today, we're going to have a conversation about what happens when parents who pass away leave lots and lots of stuff to their kids. So we have to have a conversation about that. So stay tuned for that after we do some My Pillow Talks, which are phenomenal today. First of all, it is Dad Joke Wednesday, and you found a good one. So we are going to play that first.
Here we go.
And go.
What do you get when you put a brown chicken and brown cows together?
What's that?
Brown chicken, brown cow. What do you get when you...
It's a dad
Brown
joke.
chicken, brown cow.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Also, baby goats. I really think you need to reconsider about goats because
we have there's a whole entire farm of goats right down the street from us. They're very sweet. I can visit anytime.
Okay, well, that's kind of cool because there's this guy that has baby goats. These goats want hugs from this man, and they stand in like a line, just waiting and waiting and waiting for him to give each one of them hugs.
Oh my
and
God.
I love it so much. Look at this.
All the babies.
They all want hugs.
They're like,
I
pick me
cannot.
up, Daddy, pick me up. They're so sweet when they're babies. Look at that. Is that an alpaca?
Yes, the alpaca's like,
Can I have
might
one
like
too?
that.
I would like to partake in the hugs. I would like to have one. Thank you. What about
See
me?
how they get up all on him and they want the hugs?
They're
Is that
so
not the
cute. That's
cutest?
very, very cute. Baby goats.
Oh
the
my God.
sweetest.
So completely precious. Also, there's a montage that I thought was super sweet of babies being caught on video saying a word for the first time and parents losing their shit about it. So much fun. Watch.
Love.
Say mama. Mama.
Oh my gosh.
Say, I love mom. I love mom.
Oh my God.
Mama. Say mama. Mama.
That's so
Say goodnight.
great.
Good night to chat. What? Did you just say goodnight?
Mama. Can you say mama? Mama. 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 Mama.
What the fuck? Is this fucking said Dada?
Who's that? Who's that guy?
Dada.
He just said Batman.
What?
No,
Did you say the N-word?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I just love that. Oh my God. I love all the
whole
reactions.
thing.
Also, I have never heard a peacock. And I thought, if I've never heard a peacock, maybe other people out there also have not heard a peacock. And so I thought, maybe we should play what a peacock sounds like.
I don't think I've ever heard a peacock either.
You're about to hear a peacock. Here it is.
Look at this absolute creature. Fucking
Well,
That's
there you
what a peacock
go.
sounds like.
That's what they sound like. They are kind of loud, aren't they?
Right?
I'm not
I mean,
really
it's a little.
not really a fan. Nah, it's like simmer down.
Also, I forget her name. Jen. Oh, what is it? Jen. She's like a therapy guru, like a self-help guru. Jen with the glasses.
Oh,
I know you've heard.
I know. She does the 5-minute whatever, 5 minute
Yes.
something, and I can't remember. Yeah,
She's amazing and she does a lot of good things. But someone was responding to one of her pieces of advice, and I thought this is such a me thing to do.
Stop spending your money on stupid shit.
That's so
Stop.
me. That is so me. Oh, you can get that on Amazon? Yeah, I totally will get that. I'm gonna have it
I need
delivered
12 of those.
tomorrow. Can I get it delivered same day? Because I'm a Prime member. I really want to get that.
Oh my God, I love that.
Ooh,
And then
Wine Fountain.
also, you guys, I didn't know this about baby raccoons. Baby raccoons, when they're scared, will cover their own eyes.
Oh my gosh. With their little hands, their tiny little hands. Tiny
with their
hands.
little hands, And they think, well, if I'm covering my eyes, you can't see me, and therefore the danger is gone. And it's the cutest thing you will ever see. Look at him.
I'm scared.
Oh my
scared.
Oh my gosh, Marc, that's so cute.
I'm so scared.
Oh my God.
What is it?
What a sweet
We got his
baby.
brother in the other day, and they just found this one. Oh.
Oh, he's so scared. Bless his little heart.
I know it. They're so sweet.
And he has just one eye open. He's like, can I just see what's going on out here?
Oh my God.
He's so cute.
The amount that I need one.
I know. You do. She really does need one, you guys.
God.
Yeah, you do. You need one.
So cute.
We'll have to like rally and get you one for your new house. I'm sure Ron would love that.
That will absolutely not be permitted.
Yeah.
He'll be like drop kicking it into the pond with the gators.
Yeah.
Okay, lastly, I thought we could all stand to benefit from some relationship advice. And so here is this lovely British gentleman to pass along some really, really profound and important relationship advice.
There we go.
Here's what to say in an argument to prevent it from escalating. My name's Peter and I was a relationship counsellor for almost years, please. During an argument, allow the person with whom you're having a disagreement to finish their point of view. This is very important. Then take a very short breath and go, here's
I was waiting. I was like, this cannot be like something that's serious. There's no way.
There's no way.
Yeah.
It was not serious.
I've done that. So I feel like I'm really good with relationships.
Right.
I've done at least something
doing it
similar.
exactly right.
Yeah, I'm doing it right. I'm doing my relationships right, you guys.
Anyway, those were your talks for today.
Awesome.
Hope you enjoyed that. Very interesting Fox article that we need to talk about. The headline reads, and I quote, "Sorry, boomers, your kids don't want your beloved China." And so this was
mean
very
to China.
interesting.
So mean to China.
Well, it's so interesting because just what you accumulate as an adult,
right,
is so out of control. And so when you think about it, and happily I have not had to deal with this, and I hope I don't have to for many, 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 many years. But I know it's something that my parents, for example, have been very proactive about. They've made all their arrangements, like when it comes to what happens when they pass away. And then also with regard to like just the stuff, my mom has made it clear, just don't worry yourself about it. Like throw away things. Don't feel like you have to keep everything because there's some sort of sentimental attachment. But I do feel like that. I'm not a hoarder, but like when it comes to stuff that has been in my parents' home forever, I'm going to want like every last thing. My sister and I both.
You're going to want every last thing? Yeah, because I would imagine there's a lot of like when I say cool heirloom stuff, it's not heirloom stuff, but it's stuff that you use like during family holidays and things like that. And you're like, oh my God, I need that. And then you need to carry on that tradition in your home.
For
sure. Stuff like that. Like, because I know you talk about like different traditions that you do at Christmas time where you pass plates around and crap, like your cake plate or something. You know what I mean?
My sister and I will fight over that thing.
Right.
It's not made anymore. And it's such a meaningful part of all of our celebrations.
Yeah. Like you talk about different traditions that are super important to your family. And so I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for my mom, because, my dad passed away and like he's like, I hate you. So we're not, so my dad hated me. So
and if you guys have not listened to that podcast, she tells the whole story about the dysfunctional family. You should check that out.
I have a completely dysfunctional family. So my dad like didn't leave me anything or my daughter anything. So, but with my mom, I mean, I would imagine my mom, because she'll talk about it once in a while, but I just want sentimental stuff. Like one thing I didn't get from her parents or even from my dad's parents, I don't have anything from them. And the one thing I did get from my mom's mom that is super important and special to me is her Bible. I got her Bible and it has writing in it from her. It has things that she clipped out from the newspaper, during her life that she put in there. And that is super. I mean, she just wrote random things in her Bible, and like that, I just love that. Like that to me is the kind of stuff that needs to be passed down. Like that is, I don't care about stuff. I don't care about China. I don't care about any of that kind of stuff. I want stuff that's written. I want stuff that smells like them. I want stuff that just is the essence of that person. That's what I would want. And I don't have anything like from like my paternal grandparents, which would have been kind of cool because my dad's mom was actually pretty awesome. So I would imagine she's probably kicked his butt in heaven right now too. But but she was pretty awesome. I would have loved something tangible of hers, like maybe a piece of jewelry or something, not because it's valuable, but because she wore it. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of stuff. But I don't want a bunch of stuff because I'm not a hoarder.
So the article is about the fact that, there's older people who have like china that they've had in their family. Maybe it was their wedding china and they've had it for 60 plus years. And so they want to pass that to their kids. And the kids are like, we've never even eaten on this china. Like you've had it in a china cabinet for your whole life. You've never even had a meal on it because it's always been put away. So that's the kind of stuff that kids don't have, or that, millennials who are now inheriting whatever belongings their parents had. They're just like, I don't want this. And then it's like, the parents who may still be alive who are like, I'm wanting to pass this on to you, are getting hurt by the kids who are like, I don't want that. So it's an interesting article. Now for me, like because my parents live so far away, and I just think about everything in their home that's so far. But I know, like, when it gets down to it, like, for example, my dad has saved, and I remember them from my childhood, like a hugely original set of Encyclopedia Britannicas.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. And I used to use them for book reports when I was in elementary school.
Oh my, I can't believe he saved those.
Oh yeah, he's got them. But then I also think, like, what am I going to do with an entire giant set of Encyclopedia Britannicas? He has a Polish set of encyclopedia. I can't read them. I don't know what I could possibly do with them, but everything in their house has meaning to me because it's theirs.
Right.
And so, maybe there's going to be some Tupperware or whatever that I'll throw out, but like literally, I don't know how I'm going to not want everything.
I know. Yeah. You and your sister are going to have to go through like it. I can't even imagine. I may have to come with you.
You will. You'll be like, come on, you don't need this pot holder. And I'll be like, but my mom used it.
But you know what I mean? But I may also be like, come on, you totally need this pot holder because oh my God.
No help whatsoever.
Because it's so cool that there is such sentimental value to that stuff. But I mean, honestly, like nowadays, going back to the China though, like who really does use China? Do you guys use China? I mean, and one of the things that I've always told, my kids is if you have something, use it. Don't leave it in a thing, don't put it in a cabinet. Use everything that you have. I heard that from a wise woman once. I can't even remember who it was, but somebody told me, if you have stuff, use it. If you have don't just look at it, like live your life, use the things, make sure that, and if you don't use them, get rid of them. You know what I mean? So hopefully the China's not sitting. I think that's why you want a lot of your parents' things is because you use them. They have value because your parents use them and they have tangible meaning to them because there are traditions attached to them. Whereas a lot of people, they just have China sitting in a cabinet somewhere. Kids don't give a crap about that. Millennials don't care about that because there's no tradition attached to it. Use the things, and then the kids will probably be like, I want it because it has significance. It's kind of like I don't really care about any, like I say, the jewelry. I don't really care about the monetary figure attached to the jewelry. But like my husband's mom, she's been doing a lot of cleaning out of her stuff because they downsized from a house to an apartment. And she started saying, okay, well, I'm going to start giving some of my jewelry away to like my daughter-in-law and my granddaughters and people like that. And so she did that. She gave me some of her jewelry. And I love that because she was like, tell me which ones you like. And then you can have them. And I took some of her, and I love that I have pieces of her and I wear them now. You know, I'll wear some of her jewelry now because it has sentimental significance. And I think that's the most important thing is it should be sentimental. The thing with you is that everything is sentimental.
That's the problem, right? Because like I can just see like going to, clean out an office, right? And I think my dad's computer is like on just a regular table. Like it's not a fancy desk or anything. It's just a little table. But I'll be like, but my dad's computer was on this table. Like, how can I get rid of this table? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I will attach sentimentality to literally everything they've ever touched. So it's going to be impossible, I think, for me. I don't know. I just
perhaps the younger generation doesn't, and that's sad that they don't. And maybe because there's just maybe traditions are dying, and hopefully it's not. Hopefully that's not the case, but I think that it probably is. I think the tradition and all that kind of stuff is dying a little bit in this generation. But
that's a good lesson to everybody to create traditions. If you don't have them, make them.
Use all the things. Yeah, use all the things. Don't just save it. Don't save it for a rainy day. Use it every day. Use it on the sunny days too.
That's a good lesson because I remember my mother-in-law, who's actually now passed away. She was insistent that when my husband and I got married, that we register for china, like for fancy china. And so we did. And we got a lot of fancy china, which we have, but we use it. Like, so and we do only use it for the special occasions because I'm always afraid I'm going to break something. So, but we get it out like on Christmas and we always have Christmas dinner
and Easter and all that. Yeah. You like use it. Yeah.
So, use it up, you guys.
Yeah.
Use it.
Interesting stuff.
Mel Robbins, not Jen. You're right. Mel Robbins was that woman's name.
Yes. She's the 5-minute chick.
Yes. Thank you very much for saying that.
Her.
Because
she's like completely spaced. She's like our generation. She's a cool chick.
Yes. Anyway. Really, really cool.
All right, you guys. It's what is today? Is it Wednesday? Tuesday? Wednesday, you guys. It's hump day.
I'm wearing my Savannah Banana t-shirt.
Oh, look at that. She had fun at the game, you guys.
So fun.
I know.
God, so fun. If you ever have a chance to go to a Savannah Banana game. Every moment is filled with fun. Every single moment.
Yeah. Sounds like a great time. You guys have a wonderful Wednesday, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Bye, everybody.